The carnage in our care homes is a scar upon this country that will never heal. And not just, of course, our care homes. You heard earlier from John in Edgware, who lost his daughter Susie early on in the crisis and feels and felt and still feels completely abandoned. And all of these personal tragedies, all of these private miseries, completely ignored and glossed over by the government, that it leaves the question of whether or not it is deliberate. And, you know, a couple of people have been, not cross probably, but a little unhappy with me this morning for even suggesting that it might be a bit excessive to wonder or to worry about that. To suggest, as I did earlier, that possibly I sound a little bit tinfoil hatty. But I do think it's probably true that the confusion is deliberate, not necessarily as callous as some of my correspondents would attest, but deliberate in the sense that they didn't know what else to do. So they sort of did a curious combination of nothing and everything. And that's why today, even looking at the next stage of the lockdown being loosened, we don't know what is going on. And yes, all right, I'm throwing away the tinfoil hat. I think that is the plan. I'm really sorry. But the fact that none of us know what is going on, what we're supposed to do, what the international lessons we could learn might be, that is the plan. And it leads inevitably, I've got no quibble with what Sarah in Cheltenham said a moment ago. It's been rendered inevitable by months of incompetence and deceit and dishonesty and dissembling and disingenuousness and sundry other words beginning with D, hasn't it? It's been rendered inevitable, this next chapter, by the mess of the last three chapters. You get now to a complete, I mean, almost incomparable crisis in this country, caused in large part by government incompetence and government deception, and Dominic Cummings, it's another word that begins with D. And the next chapter is defined by the last three chapters. And the next chapter has to involve some attempt to get the tills ringing again, because the cost of not doing that, well, it's huge. The cost of doing it, of course, might be huge as well. But it becomes a question, and this is bleak stuff. I never say my friends as a kind of as a sort of catchphrase for people listening to the programme. I always prefer to think of myself as addressing you directly, like there's one person listening. But sometimes I do feel this sense of community that seems lacking in so many other areas of our lives at the moment. So when I say my friends, I mean my friends. That is the price. The price is potentially more loss. And at some point that price becomes not just, I mean, I would never say worth paying, but it becomes an inevitable price to pay for having a country to return to at the end of this crisis, this catastrophe, however it unfolds, having a country to return to that is fit for purpose, that is functioning. You know, some incredibly apocalyptic reports from the Bank of England yesterday. But again, everything's gone so bonkers that they went largely unnoticed.